balls deep is a very sexual term. There's not that. Yes, balls deep is incredibly sexual.
Reckless speculation, but when stuff like this happens, maybe there's something amongst teammates. Maybe someone did something with someone else's wife. Does it remind you guys of Jude Bellingham?
No.
He's a little more.
The way he moves.
He's a little more slippery. He's
like
he's
the
like
body
he's like
type, the way
he's
they
like,
move is
he's
very
like a
similar.
wet Jude Bellingham, like a lathered up in grease Jude Bellingham. I think he's a little more elusive than Bellingham. Bellingham to me is a little more like a power player, where he has a little bit more of that like guile and slides around a little bit. I do too. Really like him.
I like the Dean guy, but I just found out. I thought he was Scandinavian. He's Spanish.
Is he really?
Spanish.
Are you sure?
Unless Fantrax is lying, ESPN
No,
is lying to me.
He's from Amsterdam.
Why does it say Spain on my nationality?
I'm in his Wikipedia
They
page.
just googled it. Yeah.
Born in Amsterdam to a Dutch family. He moved to Spain, and he was a citizen
So
there.
he plays for Spain.
Does he play for Spain though?
He played for Spain under 21.
He's under 21. Yeah.
But up to under 19, he played for Holland.
Yeah, interesting. So that'll be an interesting one to see where he ends up going. If who needs him more?
England. Nate doesn't have that because this is the trade he sent me before he got Haaland, and I'm not sure if I'm an idiot for not accepting it. Tell me I'm not an idiot. So he wanted Isak and Young.
Oh, I hate my bet. I literally hate it. Hello, welcome to episode 70 of Draft Offsides. I'm with Tika and Enzo. My name is Keith. This is the big 7-0 episode, and it's happening right before Christmas. So happy holidays, guys.
Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Enzo's getting the biggest present this year, sitting in first place in our main league, and he actually just surpassed me for second place in our secondary league too. So he's just having a good year.
And how did I do that, Keith? Who did I spank?
I don't know.
I spanked my buddy right there with his bald head with 155.
Tico.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been Enzo's on a winning streak.
Winning.
Fucking you suck.
Just in everything fantasy. Enzo's on a winning streak. So hey, you got to ride the lightning when you can. You just got to.
What are you
enjoy
sucking on?
I have to suck on a Ricola because I'm fucking sick. If I don't, I'll be coughing up.
All right. Just don't do it too loud. Suck quietly.
Yeah. You don't need to slurp.
So there were some interesting games this week, and we'll obviously get into them. So I think we just let's just charge right into studs and duds. What do you guys think? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, kicking it off. Tico, who do we got?
We talked about Christmas. Jesus. Gabriel Jesus, 34 points, projected 10.77, 2 goals, 1 assist, his first 2 goals of the year. Did not know, I thought he had scored before. And with Saka out, he has the potential to have a huge impact in the upcoming weeks because it looks like Saka's going to be out for a good period of time.
Okay, here's the question. Is he really the second coming or is he a false prophet?
False prophet, flash in the pan. That's what I was about to say. I love the pun.
My thing is that so he's obviously scored a hat-trick midweek, then he scored 2 on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The midweek hat-trick was in the League Cup. But my thought is that they were both against Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sitting here like I kind of need to see him do it a little more. I was really annoyed though that the number one guy in our league, in our secondary league, he
tried to trade that. Did he try to trade it to you?
He was, and I was trying to give him shit for it, and then he went off. So pretty much whatever I say is just do the opposite of whatever I say, and then that's going to be a winning formula right now because it feels like whatever Enzo can't stop winning. I just can't stop taking L's.
I've been right about players too this season, recently too. To be honest, just throwing it out there.
But I agree with you, Enzo. I'm thinking I'm not counting my chickens. I wouldn't make a big move for him or anything. Obviously, you picked him up. You're happy. It's potentially 3 points. But what do you think, Tico?
I think if he starts, obviously he's not going to be scoring 2 goals and an assist every game. But I do think he has potential, especially if he plays on the right side. He's going to have those key passes as well. So I do think there's some value there. I don't think I'm not putting it as down as much as you two are.
You're not as down on him.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I guess question on this. What would you kind of trade for him? Like, what's his value to you guys? Like, would you trade like a
Kilman?
I don't know, like a Max Kilman? Ooh, yeah. So like a dependable defensive starter, but Kilman's not even how rostered is Kilman?
Not that rostered, but Jesus is only going to be rostered now highly after this. Perfectly honest.
So I would trade a player that I have on my roster as a spot starter. So someone like Estupiñán, Lucas Digne, someone like that I could kind of.
Lucas Digne is he's been pretty good early in the season. I know he's dropped off a little, but like, I'm trying to think of like a name. Hold on.
Just put it this way. I feel like there's 2 players ahead of him in that Arsenal team. So you pick a player that's got 2 players ahead of him in their team, or is mediocre. You know what I mean? Like, you got Trossard ahead of him. That new kid, forget his name, like, he's played more games and played more minutes than he has.
You also have to factor in, let's say if Jesus does play and he does score goals, Havertz hasn't been out form. Havertz hasn't been playing that well.
It's a lot of
here's
ifs
the
and
question.
buts.
I have two for you guys. Evan Nielsen on Bournemouth. He's had a few good games. When he doesn't score, he's like useless. Would you rather roll with Jesus, or would you stick with Evan Nielsen?
You know who I'd go for? Who I'd try to trade for? Welbeck. Because he's had
Hold on. Answer the question I asked, and then we can talk Welbeck after.
No, because Evan Nielsen needs to win penalties to get assists.
I think I'd rather have Jesus for the next month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You would, and then just figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Okay. What about so then Strand Larsen's the same things probably.
Yeah, he's goal dependent.
So then Welbeck. You think you trade Welbeck for? Welbeck's injured right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Would you trade Welbeck now and try and get some quick easy points with Gabriel Jesus?
You don't know how he's going to come back, and honestly, that Brian, he's older.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good on him. Next one, Ola Aina, Tico.
26 points versus projected 7.81. Second goal of the year for him, and he's averaging 8.3 points for the year. I feel like there's some value over here. He actually has become, along with Forrest, a surprisingly good defender to play. So I like Aina. I think there's value on him as a defender, especially this year, considering the first goal isn't negative points.
Yeah, I agree. I also think sometimes it's hard to like a surprise team like Forrest. Obviously, like the forwards go first, the mids, but like sometimes the defenders stick around longer than they should. Like he probably should be picked up, you know?
Yeah.
So. Like he's the number 17th ranked defender overall,
and he was good. He was good last year too. I think you mentioned him a few weeks ago, Keith.
I did. Yeah. He's rostered in 67% of leagues, but yeah, I think this is great. Good for him. And the Forest is like
they're
great.
looking good, man. They solid defense and good attack. They're looking good.
Isak, 43 points, projected 16.1, had a hat trick, 5 shots on target, 2 key passes. He's up to 10 goals on the year, and he also seems to help the midfielders for the Newcastle team. For example, Murphy has scored 20 plus the last 3 games. Ever since Isak started scoring, it looks like Gordon's numbers has gone up as well. So it's kind of a ripple effect. So we've talked about Isak has been on the tear. He was the highest scoring player this game week, 43 points. Amazing game.
Yeah. That Newcastle front three started to look a little more settled, right? With Murphy on the right and Gordon on the left, and then Isak through the middle. Scored a lot of goals. Mm-hmm. It's looking pretty good.
I mean, ever since we shitted on Murphy, he scored 20 plus in the 3 following games.
Yeah, well, we also put him on the.
Well, he was on waivers last week.
So
yeah.
And if you picked him up and started him, you got rewarded this week.
And I picked him up and didn't start him, and then I lost my matchup by like 3 points, so I was pretty devastated. Oh. But hey, so is life. On Isak, I think the biggest thing we talk about with him every single time is just health. If he can stay healthy, I think Enzo, like you've called it a bunch. It's just he can be one of the best players in the league if he stays healthy. It's just a matter of if he can't do that.
Yeah, he could have scored a couple more this game, perfectly honest. He had that one-on-one that he should have slotted away. I think he's very athletic, great touch, can gift out the ball, smart, can score. Again, like you said, just stay healthy. He's like a definite star week in, week out.
Ranked 10th overall, and he missed 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, love that. Okay, the honorable mention, who will be is on waivers later, so keep an eye out for that.
How do you pronounce his last name?
I have no idea. Hushin?
Dean Hushin?
I don't know.
It's some Nordic finesse. So, scored a goal, 29.5 points. So, over the last 4 games that he started, 2 of the games he scored 7 points and 7.5. And then the other 2 where he scored a goal, he scored over 20 points. So, even when he's not contributing to a goal, he's still putting up 7.5 points for a defender. Very respectable.
I'm just going to call him the chill guy. Just call him the...
Yeah, exactly. Chill guy.
Chill guy.
Exactly. He seems young and exciting, and I think more and more we're going to see with these set pieces becoming such a big thing that there's going to be it's going to be more like one guy's the person that they're going to try and have score set pieces. You know, like this, the way that Gabriel is that guy for Arsenal. And so I think that maybe he's kind of that guy for Bournemouth, you know?
He's 6'5".
Yeah, he's huge.
And he's only 19.
Yeah, he's super young.
Yeah.
So it's a really good, exciting prospect. And so we'll talk a little more about him at waivers. But yeah, I think that's a great one. Okay, moving on over to duds. Who do we got?
Our boy Nicholas Fulkirk. 1 point, no shots on target, no key passes. He just won 2 aerials. First start, I think, for the year. And then after, obviously, that horrific crash for Antonio. So we thought there might be value here. It is his first start, but he didn't really do much, didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, first start, we already know what kind of striker he is. He's a target man. So if he doesn't get crosses into the box, which I don't really think this West Ham team really does. Am I right? I know Bowen gets to the side, but they don't really put balls in the air. I don't think they don't score that many headers. So I think Fulker might struggle a little bit unless West Ham changes the way that their form of attack is, in my opinion.
He's going to have to prove it to me before I ever pick him up or start it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So,
yeah, same. I think I'm out on him until he does something.
Exactly. Who else?
Haaland, we had to have a representation from City, 1.75 points, projected 15.13. He's still sitting on 13 goals for the year, averaging 14 points. Even during the losing time, he had a few games where he scored 10 plus, but it's a City problem. We just, Haaland is obviously the main fantasy player.
When do you not start him?
Never.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Do it.
Right? That sucks.
It's horrible.
Dude, I'm like trying to trade for him now, to be honest.
Are you?
Yeah.
You sick son of a bitch.
I mean, someone just did that in our other league and traded Cunha and Damsgaard for Haaland.
Which, when you look at the name value portion of it, you're like, that's crazy. Why would you give that up? But
then you look at the point
Cunha's
value.
Having,
oh my god,
Cunha's ranked 4th overall. He's averaging 15.
Yeah, and I mean, how is City going to get improved? Like right now, we're like January's coming. Maybe they'll buy some players, but like that's not a given. That's not a given that'll fix whatever's going on. If like
fix it the first time when they were fucking shit.
No, but I mean that like it takes it's sometimes like a guy coming from another league. It's just like hard for players to bet into new teams. It's not necessarily that like someone's going to come in and all of a sudden be like, oh wait, now Haaland's scoring goals again. Because the thing about Haaland, he's so dependent on the people around him. He's not someone that's going to do it himself.
What makes you think they're going to buy from other leagues? They're going to fucking... If they're smart, they buy from the Premiership. Players that are proven. And they go spend big bucks. Like you were talking about Anthony Robinson. If they needed a left back, which they don't, but you'd pick him up right now from one of the lower teams. You know what I mean? You look like a Bowen. Maybe pick him up from West Ham because they're not doing very well right now. Maybe like try to make a big bid for him, 100 million. Got something else on that right-hand side because it hasn't really been working out.
I think for what they need is going to be hard to find in the January window, especially from someone within the Premier League. Because as much as money you could make, I think watching them drown
is so satisfying.
Yeah, I still think there's going to be that many Premier League clubs that are going to be willing to part with the quality of player that City needs in that position. There's like no club is in excess of those types of players. Like the really good center mids. I think the one I'm thinking of is like Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle would be one. But like I can't imagine Newcastle parting with him.
Well, there's someone else that this podcast absolutely hates, Lucas Paqueta. He was linked with City last year. West Ham, they're not doing anything. The value's only going to drop. I mean, he's not going to fix all their problems, but he's something.
I think that they needed someone who's a little more defensive than Paqueta, though, right? Like, I think they need a little bit more of like a 6 than they do like that, like 8. But hey,
they definitely they need some legs in that midfield. That's what they fucking need.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed the starting lineup they had. It was one of his original core starting lineup from a couple of years ago. Foden, Grealish, Bernardo Silva. Only KDB was missing.
Yeah. He's starting to look. It's just starting to look. I mean, at what point do we feel bad for him? It's like the same way with Man United. Like, at what point do you start feeling bad? No, you don't. Never. No, because you have the Real Madrid.
Yeah, you got the Real Madrid bias. Yeah. Like, I don't feel bad for him because I understand he came from. Then he went to Bayern Munich. Then he went to Man City. He's a great manager who manages great players, but he hasn't ever had this. This has had to come sooner rather than later. So this is paying his dues, in my opinion.
I saw someone put something out on Instagram where it said like Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, Ferguson, all the elites, they never won one game in 10 games. With that squad, you only won 1 in 10 games.
But also, we've said this before, the Premier League is a lot better than it was fucking in those eras. Let's be honest.
But still, I think there's something deeply wrong. and there's something deeply wrong that's going on right now, and like he's not addressing it, whatever that is. Like at some point, you just need to understand, like, hey, we need to change the way we play and tidy it up and play really defensively and just get our like mojo back. And he's not doing
I
that.
think mentally they're done. They've been dominating for so long. I think mentally that now they've got to this point where they lost a few in a row. I feel like they're not done. They're gonna win. They're gonna win again. They're gonna go on another run, but they're not gonna win the league this year.
Chico, you sent that link, or so one of you guys sent that link about like what since November they'd be in last place on total points. That's crazy.
You
That
would
is
never think you'd ever
crazy.
say that about this Man City.
It's,
Yeah.
reckless speculation, but when stuff like this happens, maybe there's something amongst teammates. Maybe someone did something with someone else's wife.
Why you gotta go? Why you gotta go there? This ain't Chelsea.
What?
You know what happened with Delonte was
Don't
LeBron's
stop,
mom.
man.
Kanye West, LeBron's mom. It's happened a few
Lots
times.
of-
It's obviously the Terry Wayne Bridge. It's happened elsewhere too.
Mm-hmm.
It happened in hockey
France.
too. There was a really
Yeah.
famous hockey one where this like one of the older players was like banging like the young like superstar, 18-year-old superstar's mom. So yeah, it's a weird. Okay. Moving on. Next one
Right.
from United.
From United. Negative half a point, projected 13.56. Obviously, they got the shellacking 3-0. Second negative game he's had this year, and both of them was 3-0 losses. The first one being against Tottenham.
You know what, man? I'm starting to feel bad for Man United fans just because I know how they feel.
The up down.
The up downs, like this blew me away.
I was not expecting this.
No.
Yeah.
3-0 shellacking? Nah. Had no idea it's going. And the way I'm looking at Amarin, he's already looking like he's getting 10 years older. Like this,
It's bad.
I think he's just starting to realize how fucked this organization is. So he just has to make it through the season. That's all he's got to do. Make it through the end of the season, stay in the Premier League, and rebuild.
I mean, the smartest thing he did is when he became manager, he said, "Hey, even after a win, is like it's going to take a long time. We're going to suffer a lot before we get good." So he doesn't have this high expectation where they're like going to dominate or like win the league right away. So he does have time. That's what he has on the side.
Yeah. I think you're totally right, and that's a really mature way to look at it, Tico. But like at the end of the day, it's more just like
This Man United.
United's a mess. It's way more fun to just be like United's a fucking mess. This is a disaster. It's a
Yeah.
graveyard.
And Matt Brower, he's actually a really good fucking player.
Yeah, he's looked really good
I
for
like
the most
him.
part.
I think,
I'm definitely like in on him overall.
yeah. I still think he has fantasy value.
Yeah.
Out of the ones we just mentioned, I feel like he has, and Haaland. But Haaland, I don't know, just because I think he's getting fucking haunted right now by something because he can't fucking score any points. But Mazraoui, out of all of them, is the one I'd start still. With faith that he'll score me some points.
Yeah. I'm still starting Holland until
Oh, of course.
literally
Of course.
something happens. I also like the thing with City, like just one last thing is like you start to wonder if there's some insider knowledge on what's going on with all the charges too. And maybe that's affecting players, and maybe there's something going on there that's just a little
Dude,
that we don't know about yet or
I
something.
wish there was a Netflix special going on right now in there. So we have to wait till
An all or nothing.
Yeah, man, I would
Yeah.
have fucking loved that shit.
All right. Honorable mention.
Wissa, 0 points versus projected 12.44. Second game in a row where he has no shots on target. And it's the first time he had 0 points on a game he started this year. So it's two bad games in a row. Not kind of keep an eye on it, but Wissa, you're going to start him regardless.
Isn't this like last season though? Wasn't like Whistle like this last season, just like Mbemba was? You know, like hot,
Where he just kind
hot, cold. You know, I'm not
he
too worried.
started last year so hot.
Both of them started like really well last year, but
Yeah.
this year they hadn't really cooled off. So
I'm
yeah,
a little nervous about Wissa just because with like Igor Thiago healthy and like there's just some, I feel like that team there's room for him to drop out of that team and it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world.
It's funny
if
because
he's not contributing.
we were just speaking about him like he was the man over there over in Mbemba. You know what I mean? It's so crazy
I
how
don't
much
know
can
if he's-
change over a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if he's the man. I don't know if I've ever thought he was the man over Mbembo. I don't know. Mbembo is playing with Wissa back and Mbembo's playing on the right. But like at the end of the day, Mbembo has a really nice cross and like it looks fine. Like I was maybe a little harsh on my quick analysis that Mbembo is gonna drop off because he's continued to. But like I see the Wissa thing a little clearer, and I think that they paid a lot of money for Igor Thiago, and so I wouldn't be shocked if he starts coming in more and more.
he started this game, I think. And let's see, how did he do? He played 72 minutes, had 6.75 with one key pass.
Who, Mbembo?
Igor.
But how did
Yeah.
Mbembo do? I think he still had double figures, didn't
Yeah, he did. He was in the teens. Yeah, even in a game where not much happened.
Nothing.
He's just that guy.
Yeah.
He had 17.75,
Yeah.
3 key passes, shot on target, 2 takeaways.
It's nice.
Yeah, he's
and some
the guy.
defensive
He's
stuff,
the guy.
yeah.
All right, that was studs and duds. Let's move into match recaps. All right, kicking it off. We kind of already covered this, but City lost again. Is the answer obvious, or do you still start certain City players? I think we kind of talked about this. I like Holland. I think you have to start. I mean, everyone else just doesn't seem like they're a given.
Oh.
Everyone else is rotation.
I think
right?
there's
so
one
even
more player.
KDB's rotation.
Vardiol.
Vardiol, you have to start.
Vardiol, you have
Yeah.
to start.
Yes.
Um,
But I mean,
And
like, there's no one else that you really have to start in that team anymore.
well,
Yeah,
Savio, if he starts, I say
If he
start.
starts.
If I say we'll start
but
that
he hasn't been starting that
But
much.
he hasn't been. But when he starts,
Yeah.
he gets you double digits every fucking time.
Yeah.
He
But
scored the last
I kind of
game.
want to.
Yeah,
Enzo,
concerning.
you and I have Watkins.
He was on the bench.
Concerning, very concerning.
He was on the bench, but again, then they play midweek. Again, I'm worried about it. I think it's a good thing to have two players that are competing, and we always say this. It's good to have players competing for a place. Watkins should be worried though, because Durant seems to be fucking producing, like ratio-wise, by minutes, he's producing more goals.
Watkins hasn't started the last 3 games.
I was just gonna say it's more than just always getting a rest. It's like there's something.
Last 3
Going on
Premier
here.
League games.
There's
Yep.
total games, Premiership games too.
Premier games, yeah.
He hasn't started the
Against
last 3.
Southampton. Against Southampton, he came on and he played 31 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Against Forrest, he came on, played 15. And against City, he came on and played 9 minutes.
Fuck, how have I fucking not noticed that?
He's been on your bench.
That's right.
What I did is, I don't know if you guys saw it, Nate in the secondary league, he had sent me a trade for Durant like a few days ago, but I never declined it. So when I saw Watkins was on the bench again, what I did is I went in and I accepted the trade.
Dude,
Really?
I think
Yeah.
he sends so
Whoa.
many. He sends so many trades and he doesn't even realize.
I know. I was trying to look to see if there's some way to like have trades like expire after a week or something,
Yeah.
just to like kind of help that problem. But
No, you gotta
Yeah,
be
I
you gotta be
couldn't
a
find
grown ass adult and deal with it.
yeah, like take notes on all the trades you sent.
Mhm.
So what was the trade, Tico? Did you accept it?
I did accept it, but let me go back and see who I gave up. I don't think I gave up anyone of super value
Can I
to
just
me.
say that Rogers was balling out this game?
Yes, I wanted to talk about Rodgers too. 27.5 points. He's just so slippery on the ball. He's
It's-
such a good dribbler of the ball. If you give him space,
Carries it up the field. Carries it up the field.
it seems like he's the guy that you need to shut down to shut down Aston Villa right now.
And he can really
you know.
pull off that blonde hair.
I gave up Solly March.
Oh my
great.
god.
Hasn't played a Premier League game in like
No.
over a year.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
break.
that's absolutely an insane trade.
I'm telling you,
And
Nate,
I handicapped
Nate,
Watkins too.
but I can't even
Yeah.
I can't even doubt
That's
anything.
actually the smartest thing.
I can't doubt anything Nate's doing. Because he's top by a lot and it seems to be fucking working out. And he's the top scorer, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's easy. I mean, hey, you can keep juggling, but one day you're gonna drop a ball or two.
Well, I think,
let's see what happens.
I'm thinking the Cunha one has dropped the ball, but if Haaland goes on a fucking streak again, then we'll be fucking
Yeah, we'll never know.
We'll never fucking know.
This
Good on Villa for just beating City.
Yep.
It's still never easy to beat City,
No.
even though they're on this losing streak. So
does Rodgers remind you guys of Jude Bellingham?
No.
The
he's
way
a
he
little
moves,
more.
not the way he plays,
He's
the
just,
way he moves.
he's a little more slippery. He's
feel like the body type, the way
he's
they
like,
move is
he's
very
like a
similar.
wet Jude Bellingham, like a lathered up in grease Jude Bellingham. I
Like-
think he's a little more elusive than Bellingham.
Like a-
Bellingham to me is a little more like a power player, where Rodgers has a little bit more of that like guile and slides around a little bit.
I like Rodgers.
I do too. Really like him. Okay, next game: Ipswich 0, Newcastle 4. We talked about Isak with 43 points. Yeah, Enzo's been his biggest fan. I think we all agree that he's the guy as long as he's healthy. Murphy with 26 points, on fire. Was it 2 goals and that little like backheel pass was pretty
Dude, just
pretty cute.
stop it, man. Stop it.
Ipswich is just looking like no matter what they do, they're going down.
Yeah, and
They just don't have enough.
I think it's all three teams are going down. Leicester.
You think Wolves will get out of there? I mean, we'll talk about them in a minute.
Yeah, I think they get out of there. But I think Ipswich
Yeah.
is going down. They don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, out of the 3 teams, I think they look the best. Out of the 3 teams. The only one that still has their manager, their original manager. So, oh wait, Yeah, the only one that has a risk manager.
And also the way Murphy's been playing lately, looks like you won that trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gordon had another solid game. I think we kind of talked about it. I think that front three is looking like it's fairly established. And like Harvey Barnes is there, Almiron are there, but they're more looking like they're impact subs, and they're not really. No, I think they might got the odd start, especially during this Christmas break or this holiday period. But I think for the most part that front three is looking locked in.
Solid.
Okay, next game, Palace 1, Arsenal 5. This was a bit of a slacking. We talked about Jesus is 34 points. The scary thing is the Saka injury.
Yep.
I just read today it's going to be several
weeks. Yeah, I read that today. So they can't replace Saka. They can't replace his 10 assists. They can't replace his 5 goals, or the amount of things that he could create. But they do have other players that can play there. If Jesus, we just spoke about, he might be able to help him out. But I think it's more likely going to be Trossard, in my opinion.
I'll tell you what, I am going to try and trade Odegaard. I'm going to try and trade Odegaard.
Really?
Yeah, I think this has a knock-on effect for the whole team.
Really?
I think they've already been, obviously they scored 5 in this game, but I think they've been struggling a little bit to score goals. Odegaard has not been great. This might be a time where I try and target an Arsenal fan and try and make a trade.
Odegaard has not been great. I thought Odegaard's been playing well.
He's been playing well, but hasn't reflected super well in the fantasy, in my opinion. Just not where he was getting drafted.
No, he hasn't.
So,
You're right. He's been single digits the last 3 games.
Yeah, and I think everyone in the attack. I think Saka just does so much for them.
Mm-hmm.
The way he drives to the line, the way he scores, he just creates a lot. Yeah. So I think this is a really big blow for Arsenal. I think this is like, if they had any shot at trying the title, I think it's, if he's out for a month, 2 months, I think that could be it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Someone else now, they might have to be buyers in the January window.
That'd be interesting.
They're not historically ever really spend that much in January.
I don't know how much budget they have. I don't know how much they can afford, because their biggest issue is they never sell players.
Yep.
So they're PSR is really, they're struggling to make PSR.
Yeah.
Rice 22.75 points off the bench.
Yep.
So a little bit unlucky there. Martinelli got a goal, 22 points. Martinelli is not loved on this podcast.
No.
We're not fans.
No.
So
that's wrong with runs with his head down like this, doesn't look up. No, not good.
I saw a really funny meme. It was like this bartender, and he was like making drinks, and he was like moving his head super fast, and people are like, that's literally just what Martinelli does. He acts like he's moving fast, but really he's just moving his head really fast.
Has anyone gotten, in the Martinelli, I feel like he had one moment that went viral a couple of years ago, and he just kind of took off from there. That guy sucks. Sergey is a big fan of him.
Of course he is an Arsenal guy, yes.
Yeah, he loves
He thought Brazil should play him over Vinny.
Yeah, Palace, a little bit of a bad result. The second time they played him, I actually thought Palace played better than the scoreline. I think they're a bit unlucky. I'd be curious to see what the XG was in this game. I bet you that the XG is not as flattering for Arsenal as the actual goals ended up being in this.
Yeah.
Moving on, next game, Brentford 0, Forrest 2. This is one of the first losses for Brentford at home.
Yeah.
Rare loss for them. We forced to remain a force and in the top 4, which is the biggest surprise of the season so far. Them and arguably more. And is Forest top 4 more surprising than City absolutely dropping off? I think they're maybe comparable.
Yeah, they're comparable.
Comparable surprise.
Yeah, if you had told me either of those things at the beginning of the season, I would be like, no, that's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I wonder if you had a vote on, that would have been an interesting thing. Like, what is more likely to happen between those two? I wonder what.
We should put that as a poll. What's more surprising? City being outside of the top, not even top 4, outside of the top 2, or Forest being in the top 4?
Yeah. That is a good poll. Maybe we can put that to our fans. See what happens. A variety of players are doing it for them. We talked about Oleana, 26 points. Anthony Elanga scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. Wood continues to still be in and around it, even if he's not scoring.
Yep. Hudson-Odoi. MGW.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Really good deliveries, really good crosses in the box. They're just they're doing it like the sum is greater than the parts.
Mm-hmm.
They're just one of those teams, and it shouldn't be that surprising with Nuno, because you saw him do this exact same thing with Wolves.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to that. So good for them. Exciting. Brentford a little flat, but we talked about Mbuemo. He still managed to generate a lot of points. Wissa concerning. I think the other side of that attack, you just leave, like whether it's Shotter or Lewis Potter. I think you just kind of like, that's just to me a dead zone as far as I don't think there's a lot of value there.
Did you see that thing with Forrest though, that they got 9 wins right now, right? That's how many wins they ended with the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts, and we're not even close to halfway through.
Well, they might end with 9 this year too.
They you
Shut up.
could have gone that far. No,
Shut
I don't
up.
think they drop off that much, mate. All right.
Okay, moving on. Spurs 3, Liverpool 6. This was the highest scoring game of the season. Fun fact.
So,
Fun fact.
Cienza, I didn't put any of these players on studs or duds.
I'm
You're
surprised you
welcome.
didn't.
I do want to shit on you. I figure I'll shit on you over here.
Gunho Spurs, they just got torn apart by Liverpool. It seemed like they had some really good moments, but Liverpool, they just left themselves too exposed. Salah, Diaz, Szoboszlai, all players that Tico have is one team combined for over 100 points.
We shit on him last week, didn't we? Saying you have or the last couple weeks said you got too
Yeah, we
many.
told him to trade one of them.
Trade one of them. You got too many Liverpool players, and they fucking knock out 100.
Those 3 players outscored Enzo's team, who's in first place currently.
Still in first place.
Salah is the first player to have a double-double, like so 10 assists, 10 goals in the Premier League before Xmas, before Christmas.
Yeah.
Before Christmas.
And he has 10 assists, 15 goals. Wow. So he's now the top scorer. He passed Haaland for top scorer in the league as well. Crazy, unstoppable. And how do you not pay the man? Pay the
fucking man. Pay him, as Carragher would say. Pay the fucking man. It's Liverpool just did the best team in Europe right now, in my opinion. You watch them in Champions League.
I think
the
so
Champions
too.
League.
Even against Real Madrid, I think I'd bet Liverpool.
Yeah, they look too good, and they got depth, and they got variety that they can play with.
Yeah.
And their only 2 injuries is what? Curtis, Jones, and Konate?
Jones is fine. I'm not sure. I think Konate is one of the bigger ones.
Konate and one more. I think they've only got 2 injuries, but they seem fine. You haven't even noticed.
Well, I think that's been Liverpool's biggest problem through the whole Klopp era was a lack of depth.
Yeah.
That was always the biggest issue with them. And it feels like they're finally solving that. And I think it's a combination of some of their youth players coming good. Like Harvey Elliott's decent. Obviously Curtis Jones is having a great season. Gravenbach is coming in and playing the way that he was supposed to.
Connor Bradley. Yeah. Connor Bradley's out.
Exactly.
Connor Bradley's out.
Bradley's out. You're right. He's
who was the defensive midfielder they got last year? Endo. He hasn't been playing. No need for him.
Yeah, no need for him. I read somewhere that he might go in January, actually.
Yeah. The way Gravenberch is playing is amazing. Szoboszlai has been amazing this year.
What about Endo to City? I don't know.
All right.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Liverpool, just amazing. And you put that high line.
And that speed.
They're just, ooh.
What's crazy?
No, sorry, go ahead, Tico.
I was going to say, Liverpool probably thought, hey, Salah's getting older. He's probably not going to have a good year. Let it play out. We'll give him a crappier contract. But the way he's playing now, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with this.
Maybe. Can I just say one thing, though? Tottenham doesn't have both their centre-halves or their goalkeeper. That's going to be my excuse. It's no excuse to get putting 6 at home. Don't get me wrong, but still, with that high line, it fucking sucks.
They need who's the center back? That's
Mickey
the fastest. They need him for the high line, but I think that guy's always going to be hurt because he's just too fast. He's just one of those players
he's too built. He's one of those guys. It's just the physical world is not capable of sustaining his speed and power.
The fuck? What about fucking Usain
Bolt?
The
laws of Usain Bolt's not as built as he is.
Look at Derrick Rose.
Physics.
Some people are just not meant to.
They're too fast for their own bodies. I think Spurs had some really good moments in this game though, and I want to shout out Jed Spence. As again, he played really well to the point where I think that he might be really challenging Udogie. Udogie was on the bench, and Spence still got the starting spot. I wouldn't be shocked to see him hanging out. Especially with some rumors about maybe Pedro Porro leaving in January, going to Real Madrid or something.
Motherfucker. Yeah, and honestly,
I
wouldn't mind it either because him and Brendan Johnson played in that Nottingham Forest team together. You know what I mean? The one that got promoted. Yeah. So there should be some chemistry there still. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the Spurs is not a disaster by any means. There's still a lot of good scoring players. It's just frustrating how inconsistent they are.
Yeah. It's as Ange said, are you not entertained? Are you not?
Madison had a good game. Kulusevski, who's been amazing
he's
the whole year.
He's the man. That's it.
He's the man.
Son was a no-show.
Cool.
Fantasy-wise, still only half a point. Could have easily made the dud list after scoring 2 goals games in a row. But yes, I think Liverpool just too much.
Yeah, fully. Okay, next game: United 0, Bournemouth 3. We talked about this earlier. This was shocking. Chill guy.
Mhm.
Our man scores again. Huijin.
Is he worthy of a pickup? We'll see.
Yeah, he's on waivers. He's
All
the
right.
first name on waivers. But Bournemouth looks good. Semenyo, another goal. I think Clivert had a goal from another penalty. Bournemouth is the penalty team.
Yeah, but Clivert won his own penalty this time.
Yeah, he won his own. He didn't need Evan Nielsen.
He didn't have Nielsen.
But yeah, Bournemouth's another surprising team. I mean, I think we thought Bournemouth were pretty good last year.
I thought Bournemouth was going down this year.
I'm not that surprised. I know you said that. That was crazy.
Hey, bro.
I remember thinking that was crazy.
How can you think that's crazy when they lose Solanke and then the guy, they didn't buy anyone? Who did they buy to replace him?
They bought Evan Nielsen for 40 million.
Who you never know with someone coming from another league.
You never know. You're right. But I thought there was enough quality there. And
they also brought Kepa.
They did get Kepa.
Hey, actually, he almost made waivers. He's been playing pretty good recently.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at his numbers, his last few games have been pretty solid. And someone please buy him from Chelsea. Oh yeah. United. This was kind of jarring. Someone dropped the United keeper. I'm blanking on his name right now. No. And I thought I was so smart picking him up. He's been terrible.
That was me. I dropped him and you picked him up right after me.
Yeah, I thought that was like, I was like, what a fool. And now it turns out I'm the fool.
I put a claim for him as well, Keeper. You got him ahead of me.
Did he use Fab?
Brutal.
No, this was in the other league.
Yeah, but it's been brutal. It's been very brutal. But yeah, Bournemouth keeps on trucking. United, I think better days ahead. I think they kind of got figured out. We'll see what happens there. It's weird. United's starting to feel like Tottenham a little bit. We just never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get, man.
It's also getting tricky because their rotation's been pretty crazy, so you have to check their lineup. Besides Bruno and Ahmad, everyone else is kind of on a rotation. So even the strikers, the defenders, you don't know who's going to play and who's not, which is kind of frustrating.
Mazraoui's a pretty solid.
Mazraoui's been starting a lot. But Onana's starting every game and it's getting you terrible points. Next game, Leicester 0, Wolves 3. The new coach for Wolves, what's his name? Paulo Fonseca.
Yeah, something like that.
But he's been it was a good game. They looked good. They looked dominant.
But they've looked good in all these games. They just weren't able to keep a clean sheet. I think, is this one of the few clean sheets they've had, I think?
Yeah, Vitor Pereira, who's a little bit of a journeyman, but I think there was a little bit of a tactical shift, and it's like I think it looked a little better. And they and so we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's also Leicester. It's not like
I was going to say the same thing right there. It's Leicester, who's starting to look poorer and poorer. I think Van Nistelrooy thought he could. I don't think he picked. I don't think he was the first choice, if I can be honest.
But these are the matches if you're Wolves, you have to win, and they did it.
True.
It kind of shows character as well. The manager changes all of a sudden. They come out and they have a statement win.
So United next, which will be interesting for Wolves because they both play in that very similar formation in that 3-4-3, or whatever 3-5-2, however you want to call it. So that'll be a very interesting kind of fun game, I think, for Wolves. Leicester, we were kind of asking the question if there's going to be any value with Van Nistelrooy going to Leicester. I think we've kind of got the answer this week. That there's just not much there. And tougher than it is. Okay, that kind of wraps it up. We're going to skip over the other games. There wasn't much there. Chelsea-Everton 0-0. A few other games not worth much note. Short weeks to come. So we obviously Boxing Day is going to be a week in its own, a game week in its own. And then we just hop. That's on Thursday, right?
Yeah, 12/26 to 12/27, and then you go 12/29 to New Year's Day, and then you got January 4th to January 6th.
Yeah, it's a very congested schedule.
You're going to have a couple players that you're going to be willing to sacrifice for starts, or you just suck it up and hopefully the person that you're playing against doesn't score as many points, which is what I'm going to do.
I think the thing to think about too is if you have a player that's on your bench that's injured and you're not going to be able to use, and you this would be the time where maybe if it's time to just let some of those guys go. Because you're going to need, you know there's going to be rotation in these weeks. You know there's going to be some guys that just aren't going to start. And you're going to need to just throw someone in on your bench.
So what I would say is, because obviously forwards and midfields, I feel like they're going to be rotated more. But
defenders won't.
So
less.
It's going to be more value in defenders, especially center backs. So if you have center backs, they're probably going to play 2 or 3 of those games because we know how defenders are as a unit. So I feel like get some defenders and have a defense-heavy lineups for the coming next 3 match days.
I've got sick defenders.
Interesting strategy. I like it. Okay, moving on to waivers. First one. Our chill guy, DJ Huijin, 22% owned, defender for Bournemouth. 2 goals, we kind of covered it. 2 goals in his last 4 games, and those are pretty much his first 4 starts. He started one game like week 5 or something, but I think now he's kind of established himself as one of the guys.
Who
And
did he, whose place did he take?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, but he's playing center back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what, he had a game of 7 points, 7.5 points, and 2 games of 20. So I think he's pretty exciting. And what we talked about, like, I think now with these set piece coaches coming in, there's going to be more and more of that, like the idea of like drawing up a play for a certain player, and he seems to be the guy that they're drawing up plays for. That X factor, because he's huge. What Tico said, you said he's 6'5".
6'5".
He's a beast. I think he's the number one defender. Next name on waivers is Goncalo Guedes from Wolves. With the new coach, there's a little bit of a new tweak to the system. Now the kind of the 2 ends underneath the 9 are playing kind of tucked underneath, and I think Guedes can really be the benefactor from this new coach, and I think that's worth a flyer. That could be a big win if Wolves start to kind of correct, because we all know that they're capable of it. Next name is Anthony Alenga, kind of a fan favorite, and he scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. And Forrest is just the team that won't go away. And I think if Alenga can lock that in that position, that team just seems to be clicking. And I think the biggest thing, this is probably maybe a bit of a spot start, but they play Tottenham next week, and Tottenham concedes goals, and Tottenham likes to play a high line. And Alenga, I think, is his most dangerous when he can run in behind teams. So I think that to me is like a really ripe for some good fantasy potential there. Next on the list, goalkeeper Martin Dubravka from Newcastle. Nick Pope is injured and out for a while. This could be a sneaky pickup. His last 2 games, he scored 10 in each. I think the only concern is his next 3 matches aren't the most favorable, but I think Pope's going to be out for longer than that. So I think this is one to keep an eye on.
He comes back in January. So next 3 matches are going to be against Villa, United, and who's the other one?
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
And Tottenham. So
No, it's not bad at all.
He's going to have a lot of opportunities for saves. So a lot of shots, not a lot of goals. So
Except against the Tottenham game.
I might, if he's available, I might drop Onana for him.
So I have Pope. I picked him up.
You did.
And Pope's was the top 3 goalkeepers. So it's a tough one.
Yeah.
So he's a good one. And then the last name on here is a very risky play, and I was struggling to find a midfielder that I really felt good about, and I don't really feel good about this, but it's Curtis Jones, owned 40% Liverpool. He's so boom or bust, and so I don't love it, But I think with the festive fixtures and the way Liverpool's really been able to rotate players, I think he's definitely going to play in the next 3 games, and I think there's value there. And the teams they're playing are Leicester, West Ham, and Man United, so I think that there's going to be points to be had there, and I think if he starts games, I think he could have value.
Yeah.
But don't love it. High risk, high reward play.
Mm-hmm. I like the Dean guy, but I just found out I thought he was Scandinavian. He's Spanish.
Is he really?
Spanish.
Are you sure?
Unless Fantrax is lying, ESPN is lying to me.
He's from Amsterdam.
Why does it say Spain on my nationality?
I'm in his Wikipedia page.
I just Googled it. Yeah.
Born in Amsterdam to a Dutch family. He moved to Spain, and he was a citizen
So
there.
he plays for Spain.
Does he play for Spain, though?
He played for Spain under 21.
He's under 21, yeah.
But up to under 19, he played for Holland.
Yeah, interesting. So that'll be an interesting one to see where he ends up going. If who needs him more?
England.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Are we going to do our bets?
I already have mine lined up.
Wait, I want to talk about a couple of trade offers I have.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear this. You were talking about this. I want to hear this.
Well, let me pull it up. So I have 2 of them. One of them is a serious one. The other one I said later, I was like, what the hell's going on? From Derek. He's trading for...
This is the serious one or the joke one?
No, not this. It's from Derek. How can it be serious?
Yeah.
I think I sent him an offer for Haaland, and he countered this. So he's asking for Luis Diaz and Estupiñán. He's giving up Moises Caicedo and Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, he's just selling. That's a middle finger trade.
It is.
Yeah. Rashford.
So look, from his buddy to me recently, his buddy, you know who I'm talking about. So he must have
starts with a K, starts with an E.
Exactly. And look, I'll give him credit because I know he listens to the podcast because I had mentioned at the end of the last podcast, Kai Havertz might be up on the trading block. He sent me Wan-Bissaka and Paqueta for Kai Havertz.
I don't know.
I don't think that's not a good trade.
Yeah, not the best. I probably wouldn't take it.
So this is a serious one that I wanted to kind of talk it out and see what you guys think about it. As I've already sent to a party, is that that's your buddy?
That's Chris.
That's Chris? All right. Send me a trade offer for Eze for Luis Diaz.
Eze's been a little underwhelming this season.
And Luis Diaz hasn't started every single game.
And Luis Diaz has been either 30 points or 3 points.
But he's
that
a
helps
player.
you. That helps you diversify your portfolio a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It does. That's the biggest plus for it. And also midfield is where I'm not that strong.
I think the value of a midfielder is more than the value of a forward. So I think that makes up for maybe the little bit of Eze inconsistency, especially with the knowledge that Eze is gonna that Crystal Palace team is on the ascendancy for the most part. You know what I mean?
All right.
But yeah, that's a good trade. I think that's respectable. I think that's a good trade.
So
I have this thing for fantasy. If it's not broke, why try to make changes to it?
That's fair.
that's true. Nate doesn't have that because this is the trade he sent me before he got Haaland, and I'm not sure if I'm an idiot for not accepting it. Tell me I'm not an idiot. So he wanted Isak and Young. He offered me
Ashley Young, Isak. Okay.
and he offered me Igor Thiago, Mateus Cunha, and Damsgaard.
I think I'd rather have Isak.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm not an idiot. All right, I still got it.
Well,
What's interesting. What's interesting is that Cunha and Isak have both been injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason that Nate was trying to get rid of Cunha, because he sent me a trade for Cunha too, was that there was some rumors that Cunha might face a suspension for what happened at the end of not the most recent game, but the game before. But it looks like that's just kind of blown over.
Yeah, it's kind of. And the other reason I'm thinking of making my trade is because my midfielders are Soboslai, who starts on a regular basis, Morgan Rogers, but I also have Doku and James Madison. Well, Madison was
Inconsistent.
a consistent starter, but lately he hasn't been, and Doku's not. With Eze, I would have someone who's there on a consistent basis. So it's.
I think it's a good trade, but I think that's a very much it's very marginal. It's whatever you think is best. You know, I don't think
It's one of those trades where it's fair until you start seeing the results afterwards.
I think I'm just gonna wait and see on Thursday if Luis Diaz is starting or not, and then
it
pull the trigger on
accepts.
the trade.
Oh my god, that'd be pretty funny.
Such a dick. Does it do that though? Doesn't it? Because I noticed that someone else had done a trade and now they have to wait till after the weekend's over for the match.
No, it should
Automatically?
as long as the game hasn't started, it should happen.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. Are we doing bets? Yeah, it's a little different.
I've literally just got 2 games I want to bet on.
I like that. Okay, what are the 2 games?
Everton City draw
Whoa, okay. Everton City draw. I like that too, actually.
plus 425, and then Forrest versus Spurs to win plus 175.
So you put City tie, and what was the other match?
Spurs win against Forest
Plus 1,300.
That's pretty fun.
for 2 games.
Yeah, love that. I think the draws are where there's a lot of points to be had, huh?
Well,
think so.
draws are always a plus.
Yeah.
But see, I kind of wanted to put City to win. Now I don't want to go against your
No,
parlay.
go for it, bro. More chance.
do what you gotta
hedge
do.
the bet.
You gotta do. Yeah, hedge the bet.
West Ham could beat Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're plus 110.
West Ham.
It's
man?
not like it's not like convincing.
I'm betting on West Ham for sure. I think that's a good one.
Tottenham doesn't really tie games.
No, we win or
No,
lose.
no, there's no ties. There's no try. There's only do or do not.
Chelsea let me down this week. I don't want to put Chelsea against Fulham.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. I think a Derby game and Fulham's are pretty good. So I'm not loving that one. I think it's tough. It's a tough week. I think the Wolves United game is like a little weird. I think that night to me has a draw written all over it. Like 3-4-3s going at each other. This could be a stalemate, I feel like.
It's United's favorite, minus 105. I don't understand why. All right, I'll just do the 4 teams. So I'll do City to win. Or you know what? This is what we're going to do. Everton to win. 1 game. Everton, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
Okay, what's that?
Plus 906.
That's fun.
Because I'm essentially betting that Everton's going to win. That's it.
Yeah.
Which I don't really believe they are, but I want to write the City.
What's the Forest Tottenham odds?
I think Forest are favorites.
Forest is plus 130. Tottenham is plus 175. Tie is 280.
Ooh, the City ground.
Wait. Can I change mine to... Oh, no.
No.
Tottenham never ties. We won't talk about it. Tottenham never ties.
They have 2 ties.
Yeah, that's never.
Okay, tell me City, West Ham, Liverpool, Arsenal.
City, West Ham. Oh, so you're essentially doing my bet.
No, I'm sorry, not City. Forest, West Ham, Liverpool, Arsenal. Sorry.
Forest plus 507. So That's what I was thinking. So I had 4 games for plus 400, where you could just put Everton to win at plus 700.
I'll just stick with that because I'm just done with this, and I hate gambling.
Oh, it's coming from the guy who just said, "Oh, guys, I'm gonna be late because I'm in the middle of I'm balls deep in a fucking poker tournament."
I did not say the term balls deep. That's not.
You never said that? It felt like something you say.
I said I'm running deep, which is like a poker term because I was in a poker tournament.
Sorry, I thought
speaking the lingo.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sounds very similar to what I just said, but
I think the balls makes it weird and sexual.
No, soccer balls, basketballs,
you've got a filthy mind, is what I think.
Testicle balls.
Balls deep is a very sexual term.
Is it?
But it's not that. Yes, balls deep is incredibly sexual.
When I said the ball deep, I'm saying the ball deep. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. That's not working.
Yeah, I think you're just filthy. All right.
Well, this has been episode 70 of Draft Offsides. My name is Keith. I'm with Tico and Enzo, and we will see you next week. So at some point,
we're going to be doing
crazy. There's going to be a lot of game weeks, and it's crazy.
We're on YouTube. We're on X. We're on Instagram.
I
just remembered it right now.
Yeah. We're on all the places that Draft Offsides. See you guys next week.
See you later.
Oh, I hate my bet. I literally hate it.
Then why did you?
Too.
I don't even want you to bet anymore. You know what? I don't think we should do the bet anymore. I think we should do game predictions for one game, and like we choose one game, we predict the score.
That pays a lot more.
No, I'm not saying bet. I'm saying we just do it amongst ourselves.
What if we did Wolves United 0-0, City Everton 0-0? I wonder what the score prediction is for that.
Nah,
Man City Everton 0-0. Well, that could happen.
Like, I would have loved to put the over on Newcastle in Villa game.
Yeah, there could be a lot of goals in that. But that could also be a game where they both are like a little bit
0-0.
They're like, you're good. Oh no, you're good. Let me just abide my time. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna keep my bet. This will be the one. So the fact that I don't like it means it's probably gonna hit.
Tico, imagine. So you don't think that would be really cool if we both really like keep winning and I beat you again and I just keep winning and then you only lose by being 2 games behind because you've lost to me twice?
No, I don't think anyone thinks that would be cool.
That's it.
I think
I don't understand why you think you're never gonna lose again.
Because that's classic, like Icarus, like fly too high to the sun. Like you think you're just invincible. Yeah. You just can't lose.
I've got to ride this for as long as I can. I remember what happened last year, so I'm just gonna ride it, and then I'll just turn into a fucking salty bitch after this. It's all right.
Okay, as long as we're an understanding of what's
like, I'm under no false pretenses that this might and could, and probably will end up in a shit street, and Tico just going, you know what? You know who's probably gonna win? Fucking Sergey.
There's it might be the worst one to win actually.
Yeah, no.
There's no way any of us go 3-0 the next 3 game weeks. And I play shitty teams. I play Derek, I play Vardy Sancho, and then I play Kyle.
You don't think you're gonna go 3-0?
It depends who's playing or not. If Salah only plays 2 of those games,
it's so hard to tell, right? It's hard to know.
Like I'm playing United when they play Liverpool at Anfield, and that's when I played Kyle, so they're not going to do shit.
Well, I got lucky again because I'm playing your brother, and guess who's not playing?
Saka.
Yeah.
But you saw his prediction. He's predicted to like fucking.
Bro, let's be honest here. The fucking predictions don't mean fucking shit. I think the predictions in American football are closer to what it could be than it is in fucking.
Yeah, for sure.
For damn sure.
100%.
Well, you also have Madueke and Kai Havertz don't have projections up, so.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if Madueke is first like a starter right now.
No, but he's gonna.
It looks like he prefers Neto and Sancho over Madueke right now.
But I really do.
Might change.
But Madueke, I think he's been retaining players. But to be honest, and this is a very tight game. Couple weeks coming up, he's gonna play at least one of those, if not 2, or at least come off the bench.
You're also kind of fucked because Watkins, Jimenez, and Welbeck are not doing what they were doing. I mean, Watkins never was, but they're not putting up the numbers. You have Harvey Barnes on your bench who's been putting 20+ points, and the game you start him is going to put up like fucking 3 points. That's just how
have
fantasy
you looked
works.
At my defense?
I have.
My defense is what's been carrying me.
Gvardiol is what's been carrying you.
No, not just Gvardiol.
Gvardiol and Robinson.
And then who else?
That's it.
Ashley Young.
Yeah,
he's not carrying
Ashley Young's been amazing.
Oh shit, he's averaging 10.
He's been amazing.
Suck a dick.
I won't. But
I'm not joking. When I say my defense has literally been carrying me, I'm not fucking like, it is what it is.
Look at the clean sheet points Ashley Young, Everton has been getting. The last like fucking 5 games. 0-0, 0-0, 4-0, 0-0, 0-0.
Telling you, bro, 0-0 against Man City.
They do not know how to score a goal, but they know how to stop the other team
fucking
from scoring.
Fucking Deutsch.
So I have because I'm taking time off from work, so I'll probably be out until the way end of January. My follow-up appointment's on the January 7th, and then I want to fly to Armenia.
Nice. For
like 3 weeks, because I have a bunch of family there. We have a home. It's like a very cheap trip for me. From there to Rome, it's a 4-hour flight round trip. It's $80.
That's so amazing.
So awesome.
But I don't want to go to Rome. I've never been to Italy, but I don't want to go to Rome.
Why?
Not never, like right now, because I want to go for like 3 or 4 days. I want to go somewhere where I could watch a football match.
Yeah.
And this is the dilemma I have.
I'm listening.
Because first of all, it's all amazing choices. The first thing is there's Champions League games at Bayern Munich, and there's one at the Bernabeu.
But why don't you just go to the Bernabeu? Have you already seen Real Madrid in Champions League?
I have not.
Then that's an easy choice if you're a Real Madrid fan.
Let me keep going. There's also, I could get a Bundesliga game where the timing works better at the Bayern Munich Stadium, or I could go to the Yellow Wall.
I'd go to the Yellow Wall.
So the thing is, if I go to the Yellow Wall, there's not much to do in that city afterwards. I'm essentially going just for the game.
That's not what you said. You said you wanted to go to a country where there was a football match. And if you're going to
part of it,
if you're going to go to a game, don't get me wrong, Bayern Munich's a big club, but there's no stadium that has that wall and has that atmosphere like that wall. Anfield is there's only a few stadiums that have an atmosphere where you're like, fuck me, I need to go. Anfield, the Yellow Wall, the Azteca, I think is another one. You know what I mean?
Argentina is at Azteca. No, Argentina, the Boca Junior Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So the Yellow Wall is the stadium that I will go to before I die. I've been to Spain, I've been to Madrid, so I've never been to Germany, so that's why I kind of want to go to Germany. Someone else might go with me, and I also have this like fucking stupid scratch-off map of places you've been to.
Stop. Who's going with you?
It's just like a
cousin.
Again.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
A cousin. Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was going to be some lady friend.
Again.
No. I mean, to be honest, if I meet someone, I might just take with them, because what's an extra fucking $200 for a flight ticket to have like a bang mate throughout the whole trip?
He just called it a bang mate?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not single.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't have to worry about that. I go with my wife. I'm going on a trip in a few months from now, and we already set. We already know what we're doing. I'm actually going to go to a baseball game in Japan. It's going to be
sick.
It's going to be
When are you going to Japan?
I don't want to tell you because you might show up.
Why would I show up?
Because you're a dick.
I've been to Japan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
if you want to send me anything that I should go look at, that'd be cool. I'm going to go to Kyoto. We're going to Tokyo. Then we're going to spend a couple of days in Kyoto. Then we're going to come back to Tokyo. And then we're going to go to Korea. We're going to stay in Seoul. And then after Seoul, we're going to go to the Philippines.
Which airline are you? So you're doing a fucking huge trip. Which airline are you flying with?
On the way there, I had to book it all. I booked it all one-way trips. So it actually turned out to be cheaper.
No, because the reason I ask is if you go to Japan using Japan Airlines,
they do
within Japan they give you free flights. Yeah. So make some time. Kyoto, honestly, you could do all of Kyoto in probably like a day. Go to Osaka. I didn't go, but whoever goes to Osaka, they love it. It's amazing.
See, I don't think I have enough time. I might do, but then I wish I would have I still could.
I don't understand why you're doing the back and forth to Tokyo and Kyoto.
Because we've got a bunch of stuff in Tokyo we want to do. You know, there's a lot of stuff in Tokyo. You know that already.
And also, Tokyo is so cheap right now. It's like the best time ever to go.
Yeah, it's impossible to get everything done.
I'm going with an empty suitcase, my man. I'm going to go vintage shopping. I want to get some Japanese denim.
Awesome.
I'm bringing back so much skincare. I'm going to look like I'm 20 years old.
Why Japanese denim?
It's a thing. It's like a big thing. Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Well, like, what's the thing about
Well,
it?
I think just Japanese is like Americana Japanese clothing is like better than stuff being made in America. So like their spin on Western stuff, the craftsmanship is like 10x better than what you can get in the United States.
I'm so like don't care what I wear in like the clothing and stuff. That whenever I go places, I never go shopping.
You always look like you're always in a fucking tracksuit, like you're about to train in a football match.
So funny story, dude. So when I went to Japan, it was when they just first month they opened from COVID, so their currency was in the shitter. So it was like amazing time to go there. My cousins are like, "Hey, can you go to the store? Can you go to the store?" Like, whatever. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this shit. So finally they convinced me. So I went to this store. It's like 7 stores, nothing but like high-end clothing stuff. at the time I was with my ex-girlfriend as well. She's like, hey, can you see if they have this bag that you could buy? Over here, it's $2,500 plus tax. Over there, I walked out $1,400. So there's
That's pretty nice.
I have a video of me like walking out of Louis Vuitton, like first time I ever went to Louis Vuitton, like shopping, crossing the street with Louis Vuitton bags, like I'm in like fucking Pretty Woman, crossing the street. But dude, you're gonna buy a bunch of Kit Kats.
I might, you know me, yeah. But I'm definitely gonna have the egg sandwich, egg sando. I want to go get the
You eat sushi, right?
Yeah, my wife doesn't
Ramen
though.
sushi.
So I'm gonna do katsu, tonkatsu. We're gonna do the barbecue.
She doesn't eat sushi at all.
She doesn't like. She loves oysters. Won't touch sushi, mate.
Just saying.
Like
Does she
I
do-
won't touch oysters. I love sushi, but raw oysters I can't do.
Have you tried it?
Have I tried them? Yes, I have, and they've come
I
right
love
back up.
oysters.
Right
Love
back up.
oysters.
Every time I tried oysters here, I didn't like it. I went to Croatia. I had oysters there. Loved it. And came back. Now I fucking love oysters.
Oh, really?
I love oysters.
Can't do it, man. It's a texture for me, I think. I can't do it. As soon as it hits the back of my throat.
And
Hey, guys. How you doing?
I don't
Good, how
like
are you?
that.
I feel good, man. Just, I'm surprised Tigo hasn't took a shot yet. He's been taking a shot at me every day for the last 2 weeks.
I mean, you are the luckiest man in fantasy.
Hey, man, I'd rather be lucky than good. Can I just say
Hey,
that?
I'm
I'd rather
into
be
that.
lucky than good.
I'm
So-
into that.
That is the dumbest thing ever. You want to be good, not lucky.
Okay. You're good, but you're still behind me.
Below you. I'm a power
The
bottom.
the vibes in our private group chat have been getting very testy.
It has been.
Recently.
It's like it was all hunky dory for a long time when there was two certain people at top. I don't blame you, Keith. You're good. You're now being attacked. I feel sorry for you. But
You're one of the
but
people attacking him.
But Tico and his little minions that he's got following Thomas, Kyle, his brother, all of them evil little fuckers. You've been trying to bait me for the last 2 days, and I've not been taking any of the baits.
You're the aggressive one. I'm just pointing out
I
facts.
don't
So
say anything.
All right, wait. Let's rewind for a minute. So Enzo is first in our league, just for all the audience. But his points scored is really low, and so Tico is frustrated by that because Enzo seems to always be playing the guy who is the lowest scoring guy in the league every single week. And now Enzo's on a 10-game winning streak. So Enzo, I was looking at that. So you're 13-4, but that means that at one point you were 3-4.
Correct. That's correct. Good math. Your math is mathing.
about him like winning 10 in a row and how it's like been getting severely lucky. He won by, if he played anyone else with the exception of Keith, who you played Derek, he would have lost. So he would have only beat two people, and he just happened to play one of those people.
Yep.
And there's been so many weeks like that.
Meanwhile, I'm on the other side of that, where I've been scoring like the third highest and then or the second highest and losing matches.
Keith, I would have like if we played each other this
Oh my
week.
god, I think I might have like broken something in the house.
Would have like put you on like suicide watch or something.
Yeah, seriously, you would have had to like do a wellness check on me. But hey, I'm back to winning. I'm still not in the. I think I'm still only in fourth, but it's getting tighter. It's getting tighter up top.
It looks like the four of us are kind of
Pulling away.
Me, Sergey are kind of pulling away, and then there's Kyle, who's a wild card. But Derek goes in there. He's lost 4 in a row. He's no longer part of the mix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting time.
That's it.